Yo, what is going on, boys? It's your man back after another long pause. But today we are returning with something kind of excited. I was kind of looking forward to it, kind of not, kind of like mid. But today we have the Tie-Dye Freddy from the new Funko Five Nights at Freddy's Wave, the tie-dye figures. Now, you may be looking at this and going, what am I looking at? And I agree with you. This is very weird. Now, of course, as we know from Fnaf in the background, they do funky stuff like this all the time, but this one didn't turn out that good, you know. I think the tie-dye idea, it could have been good. It could have been like a blacklight wave where it's one of those weird but cool type things. I think they flopped it again. Bringing them in to look at the paint here, paint and sculpt. The sculpt is the exact same as the usual Freddy's, which I think sucks because with this face here, of course, if you're a Fnaf head, you may know he's not supposed to have the upper teeth. And they did make a face with no upper teeth, but they still don't use it. So that's kind of sad. You can see there's some interesting paint details here. I'm not sure what color this guy is, so don't care. But for the paint and sculpt details, I think they did a pretty meh job. Like, the teeth aren't the worst. There's some decent, like, overlining there, but that's not too bad. The eyeball, that one is all messed up. Looks like he got a cut across his eye like some Yamcha action. And then the other eye is all right. Now, I'd say right off the bat, my main problem with this is these are not worth the price. Moving this man out the way. I found these fresh today in the store. You can see I actually do kind of like the box. I think they're still killing it in the box department. Nice little tie-dye flare in the background. But you can see I paid $12.99 for this figure. Now, you might be thinking that's not too bad, but for a figure like this, usually Fnaf figures are around $10. I say $10 for no figure. He does come with an accessory. Or for a figure, but no Build-A-Figure piece, I'd say $10 is fine. They're cranking them up to $13. $13 is unbelievable. But, I mean, I bought them, so I guess I can't complain too much. We'll see the rest of the wave here. I definitely do not like this wave. They're a little, it's just one of those weird things. I'm not sure if it's a good idea or how most people are feeling about it, but I don't like it at all. And I think it's the same problem as usual with this Funko company is they're doing stuff that nobody wants. Like, we would still, since day one, I'm begging for that Fnaf 2 wave, and they dropped this instead. The literal wave 1 again, except instead of making Springtrap a Build-A-Figure, he's just an exclusive. I think it might be Walmart, probably Walmart, Hot Topic, something like that. But now, moving on, continuing. We'll take another deep look at the paint and sculpt, because like I said, paint, I'm not sure if the plastic is sculpted like this or if it's paint. I'm pretty sure it might be sculpted. I'm not actually sure at all. The plastic ties that hold him in the box were actually stuck to the figure, so that makes me think it might be paint, but I don't know. It's too, I guess, clean to be paint. I'm not sure. Not too bad, though. Sculpt-wise, same exact as always. I will say, though, moving on to articulation here, they did do some decent articulation stuff. So at the head, he looks up, not too bad. Down, about the same. Get your usual ball joint, little swivel action going. At the shoulders, it looks like they used the same look, like the normal shoulder, but they made the shoulder pads longer again, so now you don't get as much articulation. I don't get why they're doing this. They made a good, like, they have a set of shoulders that work, and now they're just changing it to make it even worse. I don't get it. The same articulation as always, a little bit of balls here. And what I do like with the balls here is they brought back where it can shift actually in the joint. Now, it's very, very small, but they did bring it back, which I do like. So, moving down here. Single jointed elbow, works about the same. Wrist, same old action. Actually, hold up. We might have ball joints at the wrists. No, never mind. This side is just very loose. We do have slight hand movement if you want to count that, and then your usual swivel. But that's all. Still, no waist articulation on these original Freddy's. I don't think they ever did it, so it's not like they're not adding it. So, the legs, keys forward, pretty terrible. As usual, like this is, you get no articulation with these figures. But I don't know what you would be looking to pose them doing. They don't do much in the game. And at the point this is, this ain't even in the game. I don't know what this even is anymore. What, are you gonna pose? You could pose him hitting the nay-nay if you want. They still got good enough articulation for that. They still got good enough articulation to hit a mean nay-nay. Look at that. All right, moving on to accessories. Now, that's the one thing I will say is at least they gave this guy an accessory, because every time they release these figures, they come with less and less, and they don't even have an accessory. Like Freddy's always got to have a microphone. They haven't given Bonnie a guitar since Wave 1. Like, this is so bad. I know there was lawsuits going on with the design of Bonnie's guitar, but still, you could fix it up and change the design to give him an accessory. So, bringing in his little microphone here. It's the same exact sculpt as the usual microphones. You're going to be hearing that a lot. It's just a little bit of a different paint, and I think it looks pretty all right. It's cool they gave him an accessory. Most of these, especially the, I don't think the blacklight figures really came with accessories, so it's cool that they decided to give this wave of weird figures accessories. Now, with his accessory in hand, you got Freddy Fazbear on the block, ready. So, moving on from articulations to the comparisons. This is where it really gets in, because just the sheer amount of times they've done this Freddy, hold on, technically that's a different head, but this is years after now that we're still getting the same old Freddy Fazbear, just repainted and flung at us again for the same price. This one right here, technically the same. Scooch him down a little bit. Again, this one right here, technically the same. He just has the new face, the new head sculpt. And then, like always, I don't have the regular head around, but the original Freddy, the original release, was also on the same exact body, same exact sculpt. And almost 8 years later, they're bringing this sculpt back still. I actually don't know when these figures released, but still. All this time later, they're still bringing back the same old crap Freddy sculpt. Even when they came through and made a better one, they're still going in and using the bad one, which I just don't get it. Sometimes this company really confuses me. Now, moving these guys back out of the way. And, just because he's over here, custom Freddy next to him. This, for some final thoughts, I'll bring it in on this guy. It's like usual I've been saying with Funko. I guess it's nice that they're still releasing Five Nights at Freddy's figures, you know, for the fans that actually want some cool FNAF merch. They're still releasing some stuff, but they just got to put a little more thought into it, because a lot of these FNAF fans nowadays, I guess, I don't know, nowadays, these dirty new FNAF fans, ugh, they don't care about the old stuff. Actually, I'm guessing they don't. Like the new wave of FNAFers, the new FNAF heads must not be a big fan of the older games, because they have not released a single thing from the older games. I don't think we're getting plushies released from older games. I don't think we're getting figures, pops even. Well, they did pops for all those. They still have not done pops for the figures for the old waves and everything. And that's my one big problem still with Funko. Of course, I will still pick up figures here and there just to review them, throw something up, and just to stick with the line to see how much worse it really gets. Like, I remember back when this figure first came out, this was nuts. The sculpting, of course it wasn't accurate, but it looked decent. It had a good enough paint job. Of course the articulation couldn't get him in the right pose, but still, this is mind-blowing. And this much time later, this is like a Marvel Legends situation, where no matter what, they just keep reusing the same bodies. And no matter what, they just keep releasing them with slightly different paints. At least with Marvel Legends, it's different characters. This is still just Freddy. This is just Freddy with a weird color. Maybe Freddy that fell into some radioactive ooze, something like that. He was with the Ninja Turtles for a little bit. But yeah, just some final thoughts. If you're in-depth FNAF collector, I'd say pick these up. They got cool boxes, so if you leave them in the box, put them on the wall of FNAF figures, it'll look good. But if you're like you buy figures sometimes, the FNAF ones, if they're cool, you'll pick them up. I do not recommend this wave. It is the same figures again, and it's not even like you get the Springtrap as a bonus. You have to go buy him separately as well. So these figures are a certified L. I do have the Foxy, who's going to be getting a review next, and I still don't think these look that good, no matter what. Even together, I guess if you got all of them and put them together, it'd be like the black lights, where it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. But even with the black lights, I don't think they were that good of an idea. They just got lucky, and it worked out well. So that's all I got to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. Next video is going to be on these guys. And hold up, one second. For anyone that knows, big business today. Oh yeah, we found Toka and Rizar in the wild. I finally got them. This review will be coming soon of these two legends. Now back to the Fnaf stuff though. So this figure right here and this figure right here, we'll be getting reviews soon. And as always, I do hope to record more, but sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't. If I'm being honest, sometimes I just don't feel like it. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time when we review Foxy the weird colored pirate. I don't know. Thank you. Have a good one.